but you also provide a sketch. So, and with the sketch, you can basically control the composition of the image. So it's a really great starting point when I have a very specific layout in mind of this image. So let's dive into the tool. I'm just going to show you how it's working. So I have the sketch to the left, and then I have the generated image to the right. And I'm going to start drawing some hills, and you can see it's drawing hills. The prompt is at the top, so it's taking the prompt and drawing the image. Now I'm going to put the person in, and you can see just putting in a black area is enough for it to understand where the person is going to be. And to draw this city in the background, I'll just change the transparency a bit so it looks like it's in the horizon. And as you can recall, we have text to the left. So I want the area of the image to the left to be darker so we have more contrast. So you can see you can build up the composition very easily with this tool. So a great way to solve a problem of getting the starting point of this image to work. The next tool is called Reimagine. So Reimagine helps create different variations of this image. Maybe I wasn't fully satisfied with the version. For example, in the image I got, the guy didn't have a backpack, and maybe also wanted to change. Let's say I wanted to change the gender of the person, or maybe wanted to change a little bit of the city. So I go into Reimagine. It builds a prompt for me. In the prompt, you can see there's a few of the words that are underlined. So I can go in and say, for example, here I can change the age of the person, but I can also go in and say, okay, let's make it a woman instead. And also, I wanted to have the person having a backpack, so the product can be in the backpack. So I'm going to give her also a backpack, and then finally changing the city from being like too futuristic, just to make it modern, so a little bit toned down. And generate, and then you get new variations. So it's a really fast way to just move sideways with your image, find new variations, but you keep all the composition, all the style and everything. Great, so now we are at a stage where we have a square image. It's still quite low resolution. In the design, we want to have it widescreen, so we want to have this image, but now make it widescreen. The tool we're going to look at is called Expand, and this is basically about painting. So you can see here, we can go to Expand with the original image. I just click the button that says 16:9 format, and you don't have to put in a prompt. And then you can choose the original version, or you can flip through different variations. And I like this one, so I'm just going to save that one. All right, so a little bit closer to our final image that we can use. The next one, I think this is one of the tools that I personally like the most. It's called Retouch. So with Retouch, you can dive into a very small area of the image and change it. When I started doing design work, it was like with Photoshop. And just seeing how quickly you can retouch an image today is incredible. So let's see. That was in the city. There was a tower with some spikes at the top, and I don't like the hostile look of that one. So I'm just going to be marking. You don't have to be very exact. You can just roughly mark the area you want to retouch, and I just replace it with the sky, and then click a variation, and then you're done. I think this video, I was so amazed about how quick that was. It's about 20 seconds. It takes 20 seconds to take that image and remove a detail like that. So now we have an image. We are quite close to having a version that we can use. The thing now is that if you notice the resolution, it's a 2K image, right? And we want to have it a full screen image in this web design, and we also want it to look good on our Retina display. So we're going to go into our upscale and change it to 4K. So now we have a really nice resolution of the image. I'll just show you a side-by-side comparison. So you can see, of course, it's adding all the detail to the hair, to the back, and in the process, it's also fixing hands, the arch nemesis of generative AI. And back to the design. So I'll just add that image, and you can see we have a little bit. So it's an example of how you can integrate generative AI into web design. I don't need that much detailed work. It doesn't feel like I'm using Photoshop. It's just really fast, intuitive. But of course, you need really good ideas to get started. And I think one of the points is also about when